I think information technologies are very important because port sites are very exciting places to work, but they also generate a series of very complex archaeological questions related to how to map areas that are deeply buried using geophysical techniques, questions related to how we visualize the results of geophysical work of that kind, how we draw together the information from excavations, from building surveys, extensive survey, and scanning and analysis of finds. The information is so complex that it would be very, very difficult to try and absorb, interpret, and integrate all that information if you didn't have computer-based technology. So in the Portus project, for example, with my colleague Graham Earle, we have developed a digital strategy which begins at the conception of the project right the way through to the completion, which involves digital data capture, integration, and then reconstructions and presentation to the public. And so we believe that this is fundamental to capturing the archaeological essence of a highly complex site of which ports are. I think the key is, first of all, to understand clearly what questions you want to know about the site. In the case of Portus, we wanted to know a lot about how the site developed, the relationship of the site to the immediate hinterland and its connections to the rest of the Mediterranean. Wanting to do that, and also knowing about the techniques that are available, such as geoarchaeology, geophysics, standard excavation, and so on, we decided on which of the best techniques to use on the site. And so that's why we chose what we did, and there are some techniques we could have chosen which we didn't. But I think, as I explained this morning in the opening lecture for the methods section, I think we've got a good balance of techniques which look at the archaeological site and understand the buried structures and how they would have appeared, but also the people, trying to develop biological profiles of the people through analysis of their physical remains, but also undertaking environmental analyses in which we analyse seeds and pollen, which tells us about the environment. So to answer the question, it's really knowing what we want to know and knowing which techniques are out there, and we put them together and apply them to the site. I personally, myself and my colleague Graham Earle, we both believe that this is absolutely fundamental. I think long gone are the days when, as academics, we can say, well, this is a subject that interests us or our peers within classical archaeology or whichever branch of archaeology you work in. We have to realise that our work is essentially paid for by the taxpayer, and the taxpayer has a right to ask, why should we be spending all this money if we don't get any return? So in the first instance, we have a duty. But secondly, it's rather like teaching. I really love to teach when I get a moment, which is not very often these days. There is a great buzz from actually trying to explain to people why things are important and why learning about the past is important. So that's why I think when you're doing a big research project, it's fundamental to gear it to the public so that they learn and they know and they want to find out more. And so an important part of what we've done, and indeed other people and other projects do too, is actually trying to present information about our site, such as reconstructions, for example, in a way that's going to capture people's attention and make them want to come and see the site and make them want to read more about what we do, because that's what makes the world go round.